Hello friends. Welcome. Today we will recap 2022 true crime drama film, American Murderer. Sit back, relax and enjoy. The movie starts in 2014. A car stops at a pawn shop, and Jason in red hoodie prepares himself. He enters in the store, and tries to sell a watch, saying that the watch is from his father, who died recently. He also gives the shop owner a ring, saying that it's from his mother, who also passed away just recently. He pretends to be a little distressed. The shop owner tells him that $1,000 is the best he can do. The man tries to leave and the shopkeeper offers him $1,800. He is about to leave, but sees a car stopping at the store, and sells both for $2,000. He quickly collects the money, and asks for the back door and leave the store. He drives off as fast as he can, and seems very happy. The scene then shifts to FBI looking into CCTV footage and calling him by his name. This is when we know that the man in the beginning of the movie is Jason Derek Brown. They don't know his exact location. They also know that he has dozens of locations but long for him to be caught. An FBI special agent, Lance Lysing, visits a house that is up for lease. A woman named Melanie opens the door. He asks if she has seen Jason, who used to live next door. She tells him that she leased Jason a house and she knew him very well. Story then moves to 18 months earlier. Jason meets Melanie to lease a house. He tells her that his brother and he are big in export and import business, especially in China and Japan. His brother works from California and he works on expanding the client base. Later, he asks if he can buy her a drink after signing the lease, but she refuses, saying his son is coming from school soon. They then talk about family and she leaves after giving him papers. In the next scene, Jason is cleaning his car when Melanie comes to him ask for a favor to babysit her son Derek. Her son and Jason go along very well. They play video games and talks random stuff. Melanie also tells Agent that Jason went very well with kids. Agent asks her if she had intimate relationship with Jason. Melanie replies that no, they did not, as they both were two different persons. But she was lying, as she is thinking about all the good times she had with Jason. They had intimate relationship. They made love and smoked joint together. During one of the love sessions, Jason gets a call from a money lending agent who tells him that he owns lots of money. Jason replies that he is not Jason but his brother. He says that Jason died in an accident about 9 months ago. He pretends to be distressed, but as soon as he hung up, he becomes happy. He left the lease 6 months before end of the lease, telling Melanie that his brother's wife is sick. To which Lance tells him that his brother's wife Amy is very well, and Jason is a big fraud and a liar. Amy doesn't believe him and asks him to leave. In next scene, Jason goes to a bar where he meets 2 girls. He orders them drinks. There is another man with the girls who appears to be rich. They all drink together and have fun. The rich man passed out and Jason steals his wallet. Jason also works out hard and party hard with several women on boat, and he records his fun time. It is shown that Agent Lance is watching this video. Next, Agent Lance meets Jamie, who is Jason's sister. She tells him that Jason was sweet and sensitive, and her best friend while growing. Lance asks her how Jason changed from being a sweet kid to what he is now. Jamie's replies, "My dad." Story then flashes back to Christmas Eve in 1980. Jason is in a hotel room with his family. His father, David, asks Jason for a drink while keeping lots of money in the safe. It's also clear Jason's parents are divorced and the mother didn't take kids' custody. The story then moves forward. Jason is in strip club and looking for some good time. He doesn't have cash, so he pays with the stolen card, which is declined. Bouncer throw him off of the club. Suddenly few men arrive in a car and start beating Jason. One of them put a gun on Jason's head, and ask him to pay $80,000 in 3 days. Jason then goes to get loan but finds out that he is maxed out and cannot get a loan. The loan officer advised him to get out of the town as soon as possible. Jason then visits his mother and shows her a paper about his new fake business. He asks her mother to invest in his business. She tells him that he hasn't visited her for 3 years, and tells him that she is not stupid. She knows that he doesn't have car or business and she is not investing. He can't fool his mother. He then leaves angrily abusing her. The story then moves to the beginning of the movie. Jason is practicing in the car about his parents' death before going to the pawn shop. He enters in the shop and says hi to the shop owner. Jamie is now telling Agent Lance's story about Jason when he was missionary about 10 years ago. And the story moves to September 1, 1994. Jason is moving out of his brother David's house. Jamie shows up and worried that their father is missing and nobody cares. Jason tells her not worry and leaves in the moving truck. Jason uses his card at an ATM machine but transactions decline due to insufficient funds. He sees an armored truck and starts planning. He searches internet about armored truck robbery. He then buys a deadly handgun and practices shooting. In the next scene, Agent Lance and two cops knocks on Kyle's door, who is Jason's friend. He sees them from the street and starts running. After short chase he is caught. Agent asks him about Jason, who put Kyle's address when he bought the gun. Storyline moves back again when Kyle meets Jason. Jason came to Kyle's place one night and brought some drugs. Jason tells Kyle his plan about robbing armored truck in front of movie theater over the Thanksgiving weekend. Jason asks Kyle to kill the guard. Kyle denies, and Jason puts a gun to his head. Kyle gets angry and asks him to leave. Jason leaves, not before calling him coward. Agent Lance believes him but books him anyways. Jason drives to a storage room that appears to be his own. He takes a silver BMW car and his old video games from storage and leaves. Jason then meets Melanie and stays there for around 10 days. He plays with her son, Derek, and follows the armored truck. He tells Melanie that he will spend Thanksgiving with his family and will move back with her in January. He says "I love you" to Melanie and she becomes emotional. He gives his old video game to Derek before leaving. Lance tells Melanie that Jason didn't spend Thanksgiving with his family. It was all a lie and instead he spent it alone in a motel nearby. Jason practices more shooting. Lance interrogates David, where he says David helped Jason robbing a golf store 5 years ago. Story moves to January 16, 2000. David goes to store where Jason is already present. Jason steals golf clubs while store clerk is busy showing David some shirts. They both drive off but stopped by a cop. To save his brother David, Jason turns himself into the cop. Jason is staying in motel, where he checks his old videos of having fun. Next morning, he leaves hotel on his bike, goes to mall and wait for the armored truck. Truck arrives, and guard goes inside the shop and brings a bag with money. Jason chases the guard and shoots him several times, killing him. He takes the bag full of money, and leaves on his bike. He dumps the bike and drives off in the car. Police and media arrive at the crime scene. Jason goes back to his hotel room and checks the bag, while FBI investigate the scene. FBI watches the crime scene CCTV, and seems sad that the guard was ruthlessly killed for $56,000. Jason takes all the money in a bag and drives off while FBI finds his bike. After partial fingerprints analysis they pinpointed to Jason Brown. Jason goes to his brother David, who takes him to a golf course. Jason asks him to take his car for detail cleaning. When David asks him why he wants to get his car detailed, he doesn't tell him. Initially, David refused to help him. But, after Jason emotionally torture him for all the things he has done for him, David agrees. Jason goes to a bar with his sister Jamie and appear distress. He dances with Jamie but still haunted by the heinous crime he committed. Next morning, he gets a call from David, who tells him that he is all over the news. Everyone watches him on the news, including himself. The FBI raids Jamie's house but doesn't find Jason. They ask Jamie which car Jason is driving. To FBI's question about Jason's car, Jamie lies, and tells the FBI that he is driving silver BMW. Police stops Jason's car in the storage area but it was David who is driving the car. While FBI investigate David, Jason spots police at a gas station but policeman doesn't recognize him and he leaves. Jamie visits her mother and it is revealed that she lied to FBI about the car Jason was driving. She asks Jamie to tell the FBI that she lied to them. Jason goes back hotel and checks his belonging and gets emotional after finding an old family picture, and other videos. He leaves all his tapes for Jamie that she hands them over to Agent Lance. Agent Lance leaves Jamie's house while it was shown that Jason's car was found on January 16, 2005 at Portland International Airport. Jason was placed on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list on December 8, 2007. Jason leaves the hotel room, and to this day he remains at large. The end.